Last time on Trails in the Sky, first chapter, we use our invite to the castle and start exploring around, talking to all the guests involved. This time we're continuing our exploration and trying to get a meeting with the Queen. Let's go. The Royal Villa should be somewhere around here, but it's off limits. My guess would be up here. Oh! This must be the Royal Keep. Who are you? Hey, you two. We're here as guests of the Duke. Is this where Her Majesty lives? Of course it is. But for the last few days she hasn't been feeling so well. She's not seeing anyone right now. Oh, you've got it all wrong. We weren't even thinking of that. I just thought it'd be amazing if she would even take notice of us. Does Princess Claudia sleep here as well? No, it's just... Hey. The Princess is focused on looking after Her Majesty. Neither of them has time to deal with the likes of you. Might I inquire as to what's going on here? Madame, we didn't know you were already back. The dinner party will be starting soon, so I'll be returning to the maid quarters. And who are our guests? They're from the team that won the martial arts competition. It's only because of that victory that someone of a Brace's social standing would ever be invited in. A Brace's social standing? Such discourtesy! You would insult those who are personally invited to the royal castle. No, that's not what... Those invited by the Duke should be treated with all the respect due to those invited by Her Majesty. I sincerely hope you have not forgotten that. Understood. Wow, she's intense. I wonder who she is it Hilda? Madame, we can't just allow them to pass. Surely you understand the reasons that the Colonel laid out. Yes, and I'm quite tired of hearing them repeated to me. I am terribly sorry, sir, madame. Security has been heightened as such the royal keep and surroundings are off limits. If I may ask, would you mind waiting in your room until the dinner party begins? Ah, alright. That's fine, we'll do as you ask. I apologize, we weren't trying to cause any trouble. Fine then, just don't let it happen again. Safe return to you. I apologize that you were subjected to such dreadful behavior. My name is Hilda. Hilda? I am the head maid of Grancel Castle and I oversee all of the housekeeping duties. We had a feeling. Forgive my rudeness, but are we previously acquainted? Well, someone told us about you. And Julie's letter over. I know this handwriting. You see? We also have our brace relevance and identification with us. I see. Please, come with me to the maid's sitting room. We can discuss the matter further once we are there. I understand. You need to deliver Professor Russell's message to Her Majesty, correct? Right. If now's not a good time, we can try later, but... No, it's not an issue. The Special Ops men have had the Royal Keep under constant surveillance for some time now. Only the Duke, the Colonel, and hired attendants such as myself are allowed in. Which means that a private audience is probably a no-go. What do you think, Estelle? You could ask Hilda to relay the Professor's message to Her Majesty. No, I'd really rather speak to her face-to-face. There are just too many particulars we don't know that we'd really need to discuss directly. Like what Duke Dunan and Colonel Richard are after. Estelle and Joshua, I have a bit of an idea, but I get you to return here once the dinner party is over. Why? Have you thought of a way for us to see Her Majesty? I believe I have. It may be difficult, but I think it's worth a try. I'm going to need some time to get ready, so can you come back after the dinner party? Awesome! Understood, we'll be back then. I'll be waiting. Food prep is done, so I think we'll begin serving shortly. For now, it's probably best if you wait in your room. this is the banquet hall where we're going to be having our dinner. The chefs... Oh, I'm just going to back out there. Okay. This is the Intelligence Division's office. All press personnel are only. Keep your distance unless you plan on getting arrested. Oh, la-di-da. With so few people, we can't possibly finish all this work. All the other officials were sent away on vacation by the Duke and forcibly removed from the castle. This is the administrative room. This is where most of the actual ruling of the world takes place. Your Majesty, we're taking orders from the Duke. Okay, well, I think that's about it for the exploration. Let's go back into our room and get ready to party. Hey guys, talk about being late. The party's about to start, you know. Sorry, we got so caught up in sightseeing that we lost track of time. Plus, we also talked to all of the mayors. Ah, well, aren't we well connected? We're close friends with the mayor of Roland. Plus, we met the other mayors in the course of our travels. Ah, I see. I guess your work as braces has caused you to meet quite a few big shots. You two sure get around for junior braces. Yeah, you might say that. Have you done any bracer assignments since we came to Grand Cell? I guess it's not all that different in other countries, right? Right, for a full-fledged bracer, nationality isn't an issue when it comes to your work. Prelim fights and legal procedures at the embassy kept me too busy to get any actual work done, though. Hey, there are 4 other bracers on duty too, which isn't so bad. Normally that'd be enough to handle most cases, I'd imagine. But with all of them concentrating in Grand Cell, that must make it tough to handle any cases in other regions. Yeah, could be. I feel like a goose just walked over my grave. I wonder what's going on with Scara back in Roland. Now, that name rings a bell. You two wouldn't have me talking about Scarazard, would you? You know her? She's our mentor, and she's been a close friend for ages. Oh, okay, makes sense. I met her a long time ago when a case brought her to Calvard. She was fortunate to have a good master working with her from such a young age. Master? Yeah, probably Dad. Please, pardon me, the table for the dinner party has been set. May I show you the way? Sure, I was getting bored of waiting anyhow. Alright, wanna go and eat fancy? Sure, that fight left me starving. Let's go dig in. Come on, you two. It'd be nice if you two didn't completely forget your table manners for once. No, they're gonna forget. This is a dinner party, right? What's with all the empty plates then? Really, just, plenty of knives and forks, though. It's a formal dinner. Everything comes out in a specific order, starting with hors d'oeuvres. Then you use the knives and forks from the outside in. And that's all part of having good table manners. And here comes the anxiety attack. It's really not so bad. It does mean that you get to have some of the finest food available. Manners and etiquette is secondary. Indeed, indeed. I'm told that you're acquainted with everyone who will be attending. No need to get stressed out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Please don't encourage her. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a knife and fork? I'm told that folks from the east usually eat with chopsticks. You've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in when in labeur, do as the Labellians do policy. I am not especially skilled with them, but I will use a knife and fork. My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're as much a gentleman as you are a martial arts a champion. You flatter me. Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face. I think he's more being polite than alleged. Anyway, his grace is really late. I wonder what he's up to. Indeed. So if the seat at the head of the table is for the Duke, then who might that other one be for? Indeed. Perhaps it's intended for Princess Claudia. Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. My humblest apologies for the long delay. Presenting His Grace the Duke. Well then, I must apologize for making you wait so. I'm afraid that I was in a meeting from which I simply could not break away. This gentleman is Colonel Richard, Commanding Officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I've invited him here to thank you for his tireless efforts in helping you deal with the terrorist situation. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by our Honourable Duke. Upper Master. I ask that you pardon my uncouth soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. I mean, we're still wearing the sweaty clothes we fought in, so... You've got to be kidding! We're having dinner with him? I suspected this might happen, but still unnerving. Excellent, excellent! What say you, Mayor Maybell? What do you think of Grand Castle's master chef? Is it cooking not on par with that found in Bose's Antero's restaurant? Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I'd almost want to try hiring them away. Notice that the Joshua and Estelle have orange instead of red. I'm guessing they don't have alcohol because they're underage. You are not the first to say such things. But what of you, Zen? Wasn't it? Is the food to your liking? Oh, it's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refinement and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberalian cuisine, though. Good, good, I'm glad to hear it. And you, young graces? I imagine you've never experienced such fine food in your life before. It's extremely delicious. Far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us. Indeed, it is a genuine treat. It's certainly delicious food, and we couldn't miss a chance to attend such prestigious an event as this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Very kind of you to say so. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before, during the Rouen incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion. Yes, sir. Maybe so. I've forgotten all about it until his butler reminded him. Let's put our social classes and ranks aside for the evening. Food is abundant and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. Grace, if we could, I'd like to do as we discussed first. Yes, it's a fine idea. Actually, I have something important to say to you fine folk who represent the kingdom. I use this celebration as a place to make an important announcement. An announcement? And what might that be? I believe I will allow Colonel Richard to explain in detail. Thank you. As you are, no doubt, already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health of late. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. That's excellent news. Could we possibly go and check in on her? Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment, i.e. you haven't told her. Within a few days, it seems likely that the terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In light of that, the Queen's birthday celebrations will be held as originally planned. Well, the citizens will surely be happy to hear this news as they have been looking forward to it. But surely that is not all you wish to tell us. Right. If that were all, you could have just sent along a message. Indeed, you are correct. Her Majesty has continued to recover as was previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, she has also issued a proclamation. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over royal authority to her nephew, Duke Dunan. What? Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah, conspiracy finally makes its appearance. I was surprised when Her Majesty first broached the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only natural. She's ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war, all without a husband, might I. Given that, I wish to relieve her of the stress of her duties following the festival's successful conclusion. As the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make. How terrible is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any signs in any of my annual visits. Isn't isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss what is supposed to be a casual dinner? Pardon my rudeness, but this all seems to stretch credulity. Maybell, are you saying that you cannot take his grace at his word? No, nothing of that sort. I simply mean that as an elected official, I don't understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion. That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear this directly from Her Majesty. Your unease is quite understandable, but we do ask that you try to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you please be persuaded to show your doubts until then? Well, the issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. That's why we're telling the leaders first to help save off any chaos and public disorder before it happens. This was also the decision of His Grace. Ahem. Yes, well, this is true. Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions. The other nations on the continent will have their eyes on us, and we must be watchful for any action on the part of the Avonians. Surely you can see why it is necessary to show unified support for the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living. He makes it all sound so rational. Yeah, he's quite the master manipulator. In other words, the official decree will be given during the birthday celebrations. He thought it would be best to inform us first so we can be prepared for any issues that may arise, correct? I'm glad to see that we have an understanding. If this all comes to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy. Yes, and we'll have to announce it to the citizens. I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who also has the same right of succession? Well, no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. It is true that she and His Grace have an equal claim to the throne, but it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her due to her tender age. And I must say, I agree with her wisdom in this matter. I should hardly like to impose this responsibility upon a girl so young. Yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there is already interest from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year. Oh my. I understand. If that happens, then we'll have two major events to celebrate. I honestly think she's a bit young for marriage. Excuse me, may I ask a question? Sin? I don't mind, speak freely. Sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't seem like the kind of conversation you want outside this hearing, particularly a foreigner. So how come you're making this announcement now? This is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allowed races to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty. Gotcha. I guess Lavelle's military embraces are on just as good of terms as the stories say. That's because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you now understand our intentions? Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what you've learned here to the guild then. Man, I've heard some pretty unbelievable conversations in my time, but that was something else. I mean, I'm a foreigner after all, so it's not that big of a deal for me. I bet that was huge news for you guys, though. Of course it was! I can't believe things have gone this far already. Huh? Never mind. But really, what a shame. The food was so amazing and it practically melted in the mouth. Couldn't tell what that last flavor was, though. Understandable enough. But anyway, do you want to go for a walk to work on some of that rich food instead? Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I can go for a little bit of fresh air. just played to us a little while ago, and now you want to take an after dinner walk? Sure don't get it. Must be a local thing. I think you're exaggerating a little bit. You haven't gone out to take in the sights? There's a lot of historic architecture around here, you know. If the mood hits me, I may still give it a shot. On the other hand, the kitchen may still have some food left over. You gotta be kidding, you're still hungry? If you had a blade to my throat, my dying wish would be for some liquor and a snack. I might go and hunt up a bar or something in a little bit. Things have gotten serious. We really have to find a way to get in to see Her Majesty. First things first, we go talk to the head maid, Hilda, like we promised. She probably knows for a way for us to speak directly to the Queen. Fine by me. Oh, we know what that is. Oh, it's you. What? No, it's you. Colonel Richard. Estelle and Joshua. This is our first opportunity to truly speak face to face, I believe. The last time we saw one another was right after Med Dalmor was arrested, wasn't it? I'm honestly surprised that you remember us. I realized that we exchanged a few words, but you made quite an impression on me. My curiosity was piqued, so I did a bit of checking up on you. I was quite surprised to learn that you were the children of Colonel Cassius. How did you find that out? Please understand, I'm not trying to show off the Intelligence Division's capabilities. I'm greatly indebted to him from our time together in the army. Indeed, more than words can properly express. Might I persuade you to stay a while and talk? I've been hoping to speak with you two for quite some time now. Huh? Pardon me, Colonel. Don't you have a meeting with His Grace? I don't mind being a bit late. Ah yes, if we're going to talk, why don't we use the lounge inside? I'll mix up a couple of virgin cocktails. I'll prepare them, sir. No, that won't be necessary. I want you to go to His Grace and inform him that I'll be delayed. Yes, sir. Oh. Pardon me, then. Now then, shall we retire to the lounge? Please, follow me. Joshua, what should we do? I don't see where we have much choice but to follow. We'll be a little late, but we'll talk to the head maid later. I met Cassius shortly after I graduated from the military academy. I was assigned to a mobile unit that was under his command. And since that time, I have found myself in his jets again and again, both personally and professionally. He did? And, what did you think of him at the time? Put it simply, he was a hero, and a master swordsman to boot. No matter the scenario, he could find a way to handle any number of battlefronts in every direction. It wasn't just a matter of sheer tactics, he understood and could direct high-level strategy as well. Quite simply, he was a man without peer. If I didn't know better, I'd say we were talking about two different people. That you were with our father during the 100 Days' War? Yes, he was my CO. Even now, I can still vividly remember the excitement that filled me as we executed this plan that turned the war's tide. Anytime we get to talking about those days, time just runs away with me. But this much I can tell you. If Cassius Bright had not been part of the Royal Army, Lavelle would now be part of the Avonian Empire. No way! That's kind of hard to believe. Well, as a hero, he had a knack of doing unbelievable things. He left the army immediately after the war, declining even a medal from the Queen, so few know of his achievements. But inside the army, many soldiers still hold him up as a prime example of what a hero should be. You never said one word about any of this to me. Well, it's not really the kind of thing you tell your daughter about. It's not fair to criticize him for that. Hey, whose side are you on? And besides, why doesn't any of this shock you like it shocks me? Did you already know about all this or something? Well, I didn't know that he was Colonel Richard's superior officer. The rest I knew about, vaguely. Vaguely? You're an accomplice? Hey, calm down. It's not like he told me any of it, I just figured a lot of it out. He told me he didn't feel it was something worth going out of his way to tell others about. I just don't get it. When he comes back, he is so in trouble. I... Please excuse us, we didn't mean to interrupt. No, seeing you like this is actually a bit of a relief. When I found out that your father was intending to leave the military, I desperately tried to stop him. But it seems that by leaving, he did what was best for himself, after all. After losing his dear wife, maybe being with you was all that could help him recover. Colonel Richard? Now then, I thank you for taking the time to come here. I really can't keep the Duke waiting, so I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Oh, alright. Apologies for making you so late. Not at all. You both have told me the one thing I wanted most to know, and plus I have no regrets. Huh? Now start again. I'm sure we'll have a chance to speak again soon. Cassius might even be with us then to share in the stories. Okay, who is that man and what has he done with Colonel Richard? What are you babbling about now? It's just that it's weird to hear him talking about Dad that way. I wasn't expecting him to be so, well, nice. True, he doesn't seem all that villainous anyway. Even so, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's got something up his sleeve. But now we should probably put the issue of Dad aside. Yeah, I guess you're right. And I hate to say it, I think that he might have been playing nice just because he could get something out of it. He's an intelligence officer, so he probably thinks that fooling a couple of kids is as easy as could be. Don't you think that's going a little too far? You might be right. Let me be the one who's mistrustful of others. You should just follow your instincts and believe whatever you think is right. Huh? But just make sure you're prepared for anything. Don't let your guard down. I'd say Brace's job is pretty much that, in fact. Okay, I got it. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you, Estelle. Thank you? What the heck are you thanking me for? Anyway, we need to go back and see Hilda. She's probably sick of waiting for us. Yeah, she should be in the maid quarters. We'll be doing that next time on Trails in the Sky, first chapter. See you then.